the rep and other stakeholders present, but let me very specially acknowledge my colleagues in the House of Assembly, Honorable Collins Young and Honorable Caesar Roland Isialangwa North and Isialangwa South respectively. Let me start by apologizing for becoming late. I understand that some of you came a bit earlier than the others, but had to wait for us to come back. Thank you for honoring our invitation to mark my 1 year in office. I decided to do this deliberately because it was part of my pledge during the campaign era that from time to time we'll have interactions, to acquaint ourselves with what we are doing. And that was when I also solicited their support to help in making sure that all areas that needed to be addressed were addressed. I'm happy to state that some of you kept faith even when I had the initial disappointment of not being announced by INEC. I maintained cordial relationship with a good number of you gentlemen of the press, because there's no lady in press. So today, I invited you to be part of our 1 year activities which started about 3-4 days ago. Precisely yesterday, 15th, marked my 1 year in office. You will recall that I was inaugurated on the 15th of November, even though effectively I started work after the Christmas holiday in January. But today, it is with joy that I welcome you to this press conference on the occasion of my 1 year anniversary as the Senator representing Abia Central Senatorial District at the National Assembly. One of my campaign promises was to carry every member of the Senatorial District along through regular briefings as much as time would allow. Even though I have constantly been keeping them abreast of my activities at their senatorial district, that I represent them at the National Assembly, it is important that at this occasion of my anniversary, 1 year anniversary, to brief them extensively through the medium of this conference. You recall that I was inaugurated, like I said earlier, as a Senator of the Federal Republic on the 15th of November 2023. After the appeal court, the highest court for the adjudication of election matters concerning lawmakers, rightly declared me winner of the February 25th, 2023 election for Abia Central Senatorial District. This was a clear 5 months after the Senate was inaugurated on June 13th, 2023. With our senatorial district already lagging behind because of this, I knew I had to double up my efforts to meet the people's expectations and even surpass my campaign promises to them. And to that effect, I will reel out my modest scorecard within the period. Like you all know, the statutory responsibilities of lawmakers are mainly to make laws and oversight function and to engage effectively with the executive to make sure that governance in line with the laws are carried out. And one of the major aspects of lawmakers' responsibility is to sponsor bills that will affect and impact the lives of their constituents. And to this effect, I've sponsored 3 bills with 2 others already programmed to be read at the floor of the Senate. So you can say 5 if you wish. On the 31st of January 2024, I sponsored a bill at the Senate for the establishment of Institute of Information and Communications Technology to be sited in Umuahia, North Abia State. This aligns with my vision of training as many interested youths of Abia Central and beyond to ICT specialists and getting them equipped to compete favorably with their peers from all over the world. This bill effectively and successfully scaled first reading. Second, health, they say, is wealth. With this at the back of my mind, I am determined to pursue a great improvement in the healthcare system of our people by ensuring more qualified health personnel are available at all times to attend to their needs. Hence, I sponsored a bill at the Senate for the establishment of Federal College of Health Technology to be sited in Iguano, where intending health personnel will be trained and equipped for premium health service delivery to our people. This bill also successfully scaled first reading. Third, the use of sports to keep a people healthy, active, competitive, and even prosperous, and bring pride to one's nation by winning laurels, as citizens cannot be overemphasized. Almost all developed nations have a robust sporting system which they are deliberate about. To bring such spirits home and even help to cut down on a vast majority of our qualified youths who are denied admission to universities every academic session, I sponsored a bill at the Senate to establish the National Sports Institute in Sulu. This bill is very popular and successfully and seamlessly it passed first reading. Lawmaking, as you know, is about give and take. When you support others in bringing their good bills to fruition, they will also support you in passing yours. To this end, I have co-sponsored several bills and motions. I earlier mentioned oversight, very, very key statutory responsibility of lawmakers. And to this end, I was inaugurated and I'm still a member of several standing committees. I am currently the deputy chairman, or if you like, the vice chairman of the Senate Committee on National Planning and Economic Matters. I am also a member of the following committees, which are very, very key for committees: Defense, Finance, FEMA, Tertiary Education, NDDC, Army, Aviation, Power, and Appropriation. These committees have also provided me strong platform to discharge my responsibilities as a senator in the area of oversight function efficiently. We have done that and we keep doing that. Others, following the deterioration state of the Enugu-Umuahia, Aba, Port Harcourt Expressway, which you are aware, Umuahia, Iguano, Ikate-Ekpene Road, and the Talapo in my area on the Okonchara Road, and the sufferings they cause our people. You will recall that I raised the concerns at the Senate on 1st December 2023, calling on the federal government and relevant agencies to fix them for the good of our people. I was quite strident on that, and I followed through not just that intervention at the Senate, but I used all the available network and connections to follow through on that loud intervention I made at the floor of the Senate. Although attention is already being given to some of the roads, I will continue to leverage my office to ensure that the roads are completely fixed. You and I are concerned about the Ikate-Ekpene Expressway. It was shortly after that intervention that the authorities in the executive branch ensured that the contractors went back to site. And I recall going on inspection with some of your colleagues, to assess the amount of work going on at that time, and also we did a fact-finding inquisition about what the challenges of the contractors were and what needed to be done to ensure that that project that has lasted for a long time be completed. Unfortunately, at the peak of the rains, the contractors pulled out of sight, and I have not relented. I've interfaced with the authorities once again, the Senate President, and I'm in touch with the Minister of Works. Both of them have given strong assurances that the contractors will be back on site. There are challenges, that contract, threw up, and I'm sure they will do their best at that level to make sure that whatever challenges and entanglements are dealt with to ensure timely completion of the project. On the 17th, I embarked on, I just mentioned that. Yes, as a senator, the welfare of your constituents are paramount. You worry about a whole lot about the young people that are out of job after being well trained in schools. So you are charged with the responsibilities of ensuring that you use the avenues provided by your office to get them employed. So one of my responsibilities as a representative of my people is to help them fill job openings in federal government, MDAs, and so forth and so on. So far, I have leveraged my office to facilitate recruitment of other central constituents into federal government outfits like Federal Fire Service, the Nigerian Navy, the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Air Force, both at officer corps level and the recruit level. I don't know if I mentioned Nigerian Police, that's one of them. And some efforts are ongoing to ensure, like recruitments are going on in some key agencies of government, and we're ensuring that we take advantage of that to get in as many people as possible. It's not been easy because the jobs are very few and the competition remains very stiff and stringent. But we are doing our best to network appropriately to ensure that as many young people as possible get employed. Following my determination to empower and turn our vibrant youths from job seekers to job creators, I have embarked on a deliberate and systematic approach towards empowering them with globally competitive entrepreneurial skills as follows. The official opening of Nostro Communications Media House and Digital Opportunity Center, otherwise known as Nostro House, on January 29, 2024 in Umuahia, for the benefit of Fabians, provided a platform for us to set up center that will take care of that. Thus, soon after that, the Digital Skills Acquisition Center that was launched for Abia youths formally opened on the 7th of April 2024. A scholarship scheme for undergraduates from across the 6 local government areas that make up Abia Central was launched and commenced operations under the auspices of my foundation, Senator Austin Agbomu Foundation. An online portal was set up to make the selection process transparent and seamless. On the 6th of March 2024, I sponsored a scholarship program for 113 constituents from across the 6 local governments that make up our senatorial district to be trained as teachers at the National Teachers Institute. Complete 100% scholarship. This is to help enhance the availability and quality teachers in particular, and education in general in our constituency, thereby bridging the yawning gap in that sector. You recall that has been there for a while. Some schools, if you visit, you maybe see just 2-3 teachers covering virtually all the subjects. That is totally unacceptable. So we are trying and doing our best to make sure that the learning gap is bridged. The students matriculated on the 29th June 2024. I'm sure you are aware of that. This was soon followed with a 5-day intensive training of youths across the senatorial district on sowing and fish farming methods. 100 participants were trained and empowered with sowing machines and startup cash of 100,000 and 50,000 respectively for the sowing and fish farming. In August, 400 secondary school students from the 6 local government areas that constitute the Abia Central Senatorial District were trained, and that was the boot camp we established for that holiday period in embedded system engineering, robotics, and artificial intelligence. After the training, the beneficiaries were able to create game apps, animated cartoon characters, they built housing and real estate prototypes with various modern facilities, including smart homes, prototypes of vehicles, including heavy-duty trucks, bulldozers, tractors, firefighting equipment, SUVs, ambulances, security patrol vehicles, among others, with modern communication gadgets and other fittings. The training, which held at the Nostrokom House in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, was done at no cost to the beneficiaries. In the same vein, the first batch of my digital skills acquisition program for over 1,000 youths from across the 62 wards that make up the senatorial district on October 14, 2024. Of course, you are aware of that. That's a scheme that we advertised widely. The free 6 weeks program, which is currently ongoing at the Nostrokom House, includes training on UIs to UX designs, web design, professional graphics designs, cyber security systems and operations, digital marketing, and forex trading. While that was still ongoing, I initiated the free training of another set of 150 youths from across the 6 senatorial districts, 6 local governments, I beg your pardon, of our senatorial districts, in cosmetology, paint production. After the training, the sum of 100,000 as startup grants, well, stipends if you like, was disbursed to each of them. So 150 beneficiaries got 100,000 each as startup stipends. Following the need to create and sustain an atmosphere of peace at the grassroots, a 2-day capacity building program for the traditional institutions on peace and conflict management commenced on November 14, 2024. The aim is to equip our traditional institutions with requisite knowledge, skills, and strategies needed to prevent, manage, and resolve conflicts effectively in their respective communities and even beyond. The second batch of this opportunity will also be kickstarted on the 26th of November 2024, and that will accommodate more traditional rulers and community leaders. Well, let me mention a few things about palliatives. I'm not a strong believer in palliatives because I see palliative as not the solution. But however, palliatives also provide stopgap measures in fighting the current difficulties, especially the hunger that pervades the land today. Well, this commenced on the 7th of April 2024 with the distribution of food items. I did it. I started modestly with 600 bags of rice, almost 2,300 bottles of vegetable oil, all those things. Then 5,000 naira, 500,000 naira cash for those in attendance through per local government as well. I think that was just a few months after my resumption in office. We had a palliative program which was instituted by Federal Ministry of Agriculture. At the time I got there, I think it was about 200 million worth of palliative, but by the time I got there, the program had already commenced, the documentations had been done, but sadly, I had no opportunity of accessing the 200 million worth of palliative meant for adolescents, and I did not know who gained from that gap that existed. I've done everything to address it. I have not succeeded. So I had to embark on my own self-help to assuage the feelings of our people. That was what led for that intervention I made at that particular time. On May 9th, my office facilitated and disbursed 50,000 naira credit facility from the federal government to low-income earners of Abia Central Secretariat District. It was widely received and acknowledged. On the 25th of September 2024, I distributed more than 2,000 bags of fertilizers to our constituents to enable them to have effective farming activities in their various areas. Now to projects. On the 15th of September 2024, I commenced the remodeling and furnishing as well as equipping of the healthcare center, which was earlier graciously, though through my request at my market square here by Honorable Sam Anibo. It was his project. He attracted it. I remember when he got on board, he asked what I needed, and I mentioned to him that health was key. And graciously, he was able to pull it through the budget, and the project came to fruition. But unfortunately, he was not able to fully complete it in terms of proper partitioning, furnishing and equipping for it to be available for service delivery before he left. So on coming on board, it became one of my priority projects, and I'm happy to tell you that appropriate measures were taken at the level of budgeting, and graciously it came out. So the agency is a Federal Medical Center, so they need to make sure that in the next month or so, the equipment will be put in place. So we embarked on the inspection the other day, and we are satisfied that the work is going on very well. I also flagged off the construction of Olokwamizi Road and that of Olokobebula Road, both in Ikwano local government area. That was on the 14th of November. Construction of similar roads will commence soon in other local governments of the senatorial district, pending the completion of the appropriation process that will statutorily give us the authorities through the agencies to embark on some projects. I launched the Light Up Our Markets initiative, I'm sure you are aware of that, a program I designed in line with my vision for ensuring well-lit and safe markets in our constituencies, thereby boosting the informal sector through more commercial activities within the markets. To this end, we are starting with 2 markets in each local government area. They have already been identified, and in fact, some of them work has started. For this end, like I said, we are starting with 2 per local government. The first phase, after which we move to the next. These markets have been identified, like I said, and I did a symbolic flag of this initiative at the Umiri market in Ubakala. That was just yesterday. Umayasa local government. Work is also to commence immediately on all the other identified markets in this first phase. All the materials for the job are on ground. So they will be, the work will go on simultaneously in all the sites. So we are not doing any procurement process. They have all been delivered. If you look outside, you will see them. Part of what they are seeing there, inside, behind you, are all for the Light Up the Market initiative. Lastly, today, Sunday, 16th November, we performed the foundation laying ceremony of Scale Acquisition Center across the 6 local government areas of our senatorial district. What we did, what we've been doing for each scale, I make sure that every local government within the district will benefit. So we just do one symbolic flag off, and that's what we've been doing. So today we did a symbolic flag off of the Scale Acquisition Center for the 6 local governments in Isia Langwa North. This center, when completed, will bring our various training skills acquisition and empowerment programs nearer and make accessibility easier for the beneficiaries, since they will no longer need to travel far distances to benefit from these programs. If you like, you can call it decentralization. So if we are running one course, because we run simultaneously in every local government at the same time, our consultant will be working out details to make sure that seamlessly we do that. This will ultimately bridge the skill gap among our youths in Abia Central Senatorial District. In conclusion, I wish to thank you all, my dear constituents, because without them, without you, and your support, we will not have been able to achieve this much just within 1 year. The joy that engulfs me each time I see them beaming with smiles because of this project is what motivates to keep us doing more. And by the special grace of God, we will not relent until the story for our constituency and our consequence change positively. In all this, I must sincerely appreciate God for life and the enablement, and to Him alone be all the glory. And it's on this note I want to thank you, gentlemen of the press, because I've been seeing our activities out there through your instrumentality. So you also share in the glory of the journey so far. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you.